Today we are going to learn how to find the area of a trapezoid. A parallelogram is made up of two congruent trapezoids. So if I draw this line directly in the middle of a parallelogram at a diagonal, I just form two trapezoids. So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the product of the height h and the sum of the bases b1 and b2. In a trapezoid, we do have two bases. So the formula to find the area of a trapezoid is area equals h times b1 plus b2. If you notice your bases right here, your bases are parallel to each other. They will always be the two lines parallel to each other. And your height still forms this right degree angle. So let's practice. Write an equation to determine the area of a trapezoid. And here is our picture. So we have our formula. Our formula says that area equals the height times b1 plus b2. And our 1 and 2 are small. They're not big 1s and big 2s. That's going to throw us off. And that's all over 2. So let's look. Here is our line that when it hits our base, it forms a right angle. So 7 inches is our height. Here are my two parallel lines, one right here and one right here. So this is B1 equals 5 inches and B2 equals 12 inches. So now we're going to plug in. We have area equals, we're going to replace H with 7, replace B1 with 5, plus B2 is 12, and all of that over 2. Order of operations says that our first step in solving this equation is to add 12 plus 5, which is 17. So this was our first step right here. So then I'm going to rewrite my equation. Always rewrite it so we don't lose where we're at in the problem. So 7 times 17 over 2. Your next step is to multiply these two numbers. So I have 17 times 7, that's 49. 7 plus times 1 is 7 plus 4 is 11. So now I'm going to rewrite my problem, and instead of 7 times 17, I'm going to put 119 all over 2. My last step is to simplify. Simplify, this says 119 divided by 2. 2 goes into 11 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 left over. Bring down my 9. 2 goes into 19 9 times, which is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1 left over. Now, when we have a remainder, we put it in the numerator and place it on top of whatever we're dividing by. So, area equals 59 1/2 inches squared. Remember, area is always units squared. So, let's try this again and make sure that we really understand it. So here we have another trapezoid that we're going to write an equation and determine the area for. So our area formula is area equals our height, parentheses, B1 plus B2, all over 2. Let's look at our figure and let's label. Here is our line that whenever it hits the base, it forms a right degree angle, so that's our height. Our bases are run parallel to each other, so this line is parallel with this line. This is B1 and this is B2. So I would like you to fill in what we replace each part of our formula with, and then try the plug-in. When you feel confident in your plug-in, you may press play to continue. So here is your formula. Area equals 9.8, parentheses 7 plus 12, all over 2. So order of operations tells us that our first step is to add these two numbers. 7 plus 12 equals 19. So we rewrite our formula, and instead of 7 plus 12, we're going to have 19 in that spot, all over 2. Our second step, order of operations, tells us that we need to multiply in order to solve this equation. So we need 9.8 times 19. We have 1 to the right of the decimal. I would like you to multiply When you finish that, you're going to get an improper fraction when you plug it back in and rewrite your formula. I would like you to divide and solve for A. When you feel you have the final answer, please press play to check to see if you are right. If not, check and see where you made your mistake. Okay, so whenever I left you, you were over here multiplying, and you should have gotten 186 2/10. When we write that back into our formula, we get A equals 186 2/10 over 2. This means that we divide 186 2/10 by 2, which is what we did over here. And our final answer is A equals 93 1/10 meters squared. So let's go to our third one. This one I would actually like you to try on your own. Write your formula, label your picture, plug in, and solve. Look at examples 1 and 2 if you get stuck. Do not come to class saying that you do not understand without trying, okay? I would like you to go to numbers 1 and 2 for your examples. Whenever you are finished and confident in your answer in number 3, we're going to actually check this tomorrow in our table groups. So then we will press play and we will continue with number 4. Okay, so we need to write and solve equations to determine the missing dimension of the trapezoid with an area of 120 square feet. So let's make a note of that. It says our area is 120 feet squared. Okay, so we don't know our height. We're looking for our missing dimension of our height. So height is unknown. Parallel line, base 1. And here's my second parallel line, base 2. So our formula is A equals H parentheses B1 plus B2 all over 2. So we're going to fill in, we're going to plug in. So we're going to replace A with 120 because it told us that A equals 120 feet squared. We do not know height, so keep your H. B1 is 12 and B2 is 20. We're going to put that all over 2. So our next step is to add our bases. So if we add our bases and we get 12 plus 20, and I am not sure where I got that 20 from. This is an 18. So 12 plus 18, and that gives us 30. So we're going to plug it back into our formula. 120 equals H. And instead of 12 plus 18, we're going to give us a 30. And then that's all over 2. Okay? So if I have, let's rewrite that so we can do this next step of multiply each side by 2. Our end result, the one thing that we want to do is get H by itself. So in order to do that, I need to get rid of this 2. So this 2 says divided by 2, so I'm going to multiply by 2 on each side. That makes my 2's go away. 120 times 2 equals 240. So if I rewrite this, I get 240 equals H times 30. Again, your end result is to get H by itself. So I need to divide by 30 on each side. This says H times 30, so I do the opposite to solve for H, and I get H equals, I would like you to come over to the side and divide 240 by 30. When you get your answer, please press play. So 30 times 8 is 240, so it goes in 8 times. So my final answer here is H equals 8 feet. Box your answer. Here we have one more. We have write an equation to determine the missing dimension of the trapezoid with an area of 81 meters squared. So that means A equals 81 meters squared. I would like you to write the formula, plug in, and solve step by step, not forgetting to rewrite your equation so you don't get lost in your problem. We are going to check number 5 with your table groups. If you get lost, please look at number 4 for support.